Hey guys, um, so I wanted to make a video on genetics, on genetic potential. Um, Genetic potential is important to for you to understand um, if you are trying to change your body composition, meaning like the way that you look, if you're trying to get aesthetic, if you're trying to look better aesthetically, or say you're trying to build muscle or lose fat. um, it's really important to understand your genetics, okay, and your genetic potential. So this video isn't. I have nothing written down. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a CrossFit coach. I have certifications. I have education. Um, I'm not going to really. I'm not stating any like scientific facts or anything. This is just like a conversation that I would have with somebody based on my experience. I have a lot of experience. My career is in the fitness field. Um, I've I've trained and I've coached people in bodybuilding. I've coached, well, not competition, but I've coached people to lose body weight or build muscle, and my main job is a head CrossFit coach at Ganawaga CrossFit. So I mean, I'm surrounded by this kind of stuff all the time, and I find that one of the main issues is people don't really understand like what it takes to make change, um, because one thing they need to know from the beginning is their baseline genetic potential. That's a good way to explain it. So, um, where do I start now? So let me give you an example, like of a scenario that could, like some if somebody's having issue making their body change, um, because they don't understand their genetic potential. So, let's say I have a client, and their name is fuck, I can't think of a name. Let's say eh, fuck, this is the hardest part. I can't think of a fucking name. Bob. Let's say Bob. The fucking most basic name ever. Um, so let's say Bob comes into the gym, and he has a role model that he looks up to for his fitness. Um, let's say his role model is one of the actors, like who, whoever. Let's say Arnold Schwarzenegger is his role model. That's a pretty good one for fitness. And he wants to build muscle, and he wants to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, I mean that's pretty hard to do, but he just wants to build muscle. Okay, and Bob comes in, and he has a little bit of weight on him. Okay, like he has a lot of excess body fat, and he's following Arnold Schwarzenegger's program. That like you could go on the internet, you could go on Google, and you could look up programs, so-called programs that a lot of these people do. You could look up like your favorite actor's workout program. I'm sure somebody has came up with something on the internet, but a lot of people do this. A lot of people go and they try to do somebody else's program, um, thinking that they're gonna look like them. And this is what I mean. How their genetic potential could be not the same. Maybe the complete opposite. Okay, so that's why it might not work for that person. So let's say Bob is doing Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout program, and he's eating exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger was eating, and he's gaining weight, but he's gaining a lot of fat. He doesn't look anything like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mind you, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a professional bodybuilder, and he has low body fat percentage and very big muscle bellies. So like his muscles are really really full. because of the because of the isolation exercises and the hypertrophy exercises that he does. Bob is doing exactly what Arnold Schwarzenegger is doing, but he's not looking anything like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, so this is where Bob needs to realize that Arnold Schwarzenegger has a different genetic potential than him. Okay, so Arnold Schwarzenegger, like just looking at him, his bone structure is pretty small. Okay, so he has like there's three different body types. Okay, I have to look it up to kind of remember what they are, but so we have an ectomorph, and this is like these would be like the extremes of the three different body types. So like you have three different body types, but everybody could be like a different percentage of each one. So Arnold Schwarzenegger could be an ectomorph because he's lean and he's got long muscle bellies. Okay, he's very lean. He stays very lean, and he could also be a mixture of endomorph. Sorry, mesomorph. Okay, mesomorph is people who gain muscle fairly easy. Okay, um, without working as hard as say like an ectomorph. Somebody who's more ectomorph is gonna have to work really hard to gain muscle. So knowing that Arnold Schwarzenegger his genetic potential is different from Bob, Bob needs to now adjust his training regimen and his diet based on what his genetic potential is. Okay. Um, so this is why it's really important for everybody to understand that you everybody has like a different everybody's different, everybody's body's different. So you can't really do somebody else's program and expect the same results. Okay, especially when it comes to an aesthetic like a bodybuilding program. Okay, or like you're trying to change the appearance in your body. Everybody needs to try something a little bit different, again based on their genetic potential. So that's pretty much what I mean, like everybody's a little bit different. Now to get into more detail, going back to the three different body types. So what I said earlier was um, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a mixture of the ectomorph and mesomorph. So there's one more body type that could be a part of anybody. Um, it's a mesomorph. So ectomorph is going to be somebody who has the genes that allow them to stay very lean, keep a low body fat percentage, and you could like think of yourself, or you could think of somebody that you might know uh, that could be related to the details that I give you. Um, so it's somebody who's very lean. Uh, they they're kind of like small, I guess. They're very skinny. It's like one of those people that you see, they just have a six pack abs. No matter what they do, they don't even have to really train. You could see their abs. Okay. And you have to remember that doesn't necessarily mean that they're strong. It just means that their body is holding a low body fat percentage. Okay. So there's pros and cons to each of these body types. Uh, the the uh, the pros for an ectomorph is definitely going to be if you're going for aesthetics, you can keep a low body fat percentage, and you can look very lean all the time, and you can stay pretty light. Um, the cons for that is if you want to gain weight, it's going to be you're going to have to work. You're gonna have to work harder than the other body types just to gain a little bit of muscle, because your metabolism is very very fast. Okay, so thinking about this, you might know somebody who is an ectomorph. Okay, like there's a few guys in like high school I remember that they would eat like shit all the time and they still look like super athletes, but time catches on and you gotta take care of yourself as you get older, and the genetics don't perform as well as they did when you were in high school. Then you would have the mesomorph. So the mesomorph is, like I said, that's somebody who is I gotta look at it every single time. So a mesomorph is somebody that is muscular. They build muscle easy. They got usually got wide shoulders. They got more of like a square looking body. Uh, but they call like these people can be considered husky, or not even husky, but just like big. Just they build muscle easy. They keep like a decent, a low percentage of body fat. Uh, we could say that these kind of people have an easier time when it comes to their fitness and their appearance. They have an easier time working for what they need to get. Okay, but so I mean, there's pros and cons to all of them, but like this is one where it's like, if you're blessed with these kind of genetics, like say you're like your body type is 80% mesomorph, you don't really have to work as hard as say somebody like an ectomorph who's trying to build muscle. You don't have to work as hard as an ectomorph just to build muscle, because like literally you can just start going to the gym and your body's already building muscle, versus like an ectomorph, where an ectomorph might have to work 10 times harder and stay extra dedicated for them to put on a little bit of muscle. um, so there's not really too many cons, I think, with the mesomorph. Okay. Then we have the endomorph. So the endomorph is this is somebody who gains weight very easily, but unlike the endomorph, they keep on a lot of body fat. Um, so like the pros of this kind of genetics is you can get big. Okay. Like if you're trying to build muscle, say you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to get you're trying to look bigger, you have to gain weight for something, or um, if you want to just gain weight, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do that. But your muscle gain is probably going to come with a lot of fat gain as well. um, so you have to kind of really focus on like your diet is going to play a big part in the quality of your mass, where your mass is coming from, and what kind of what you're putting on your body. Okay. So now that I kind of identified like I said, I'm just kind of doing this like as if I'm talking to somebody. Like if one of my clients had asked me like about genetics, this is kind of like what I would do instead of talking to a computer. So uh, it's it's a little different. So now that you know each of the well, you don't know them fully, but you have an idea of what the three different body types could be. Now what you have to do is kind of understand that, like I said earlier, an ectomorph's workout program is not going to be the same. Is not going to give the same results to a mesomorph, and a mesomorph's program is not going to be or give the same results to an endomorph. Like a mesomorph's program is not going to give the same results to an endomorph. Okay. Um, so this is where it's important to really understand that you need to first, if your goal, like if you're really looking to like to change your appearance, it's very important to understand your genetics. Okay, super important, because you could be just like wasting your time doing a program that somebody sold you, um, because it worked for them, but it's not working for you. Okay. Um, so one thing that like I see a lot, and like I'm a personal trainer, but I'll give you guys a little secret on the industry. Okay, a lot of personal trainers who are selling you a product, like I'm not trying to sound like a fucking, this is like the Illuminati or some shit, but a lot of personal trainers have the genetics that allow them to look a certain way or look like pretty good without working as hard as anybody else. Okay. um so like say for example I have like superior genetics. My like I can keep my body fat percentage low. I build muscle. Like I can go to the gym for 2 weeks and I gain 10 pounds of muscle. Mind you, I'm not like that. Like, I don't want to like come off like one of those trainers. Like, I have to work really hard to keep my body fat percentage low. I train every single day. I watch what I eat. Every time I eat like some garbage food, I'm like, all right, I gotta go do like 20 minutes of cardio or some shit. So I know what it's like to have to work to look a certain way. Okay. So there's a lot of these trainers out there, a lot of these coaches that they look very lean, they gain muscle very easily, and they'll sell you, or they'll give you advice on something, and they'll say that this worked for me, so this is what you should do, and you're gonna look amazing. Okay. uh, as a personal trainer and as somebody who's trying to help somebody in their career, I think that that's kind of like the wrong approach, especially in like this day and age. Like, I think that being honest with the clients is more important than trying to sell something. Because I believe that in the end, being honest is gonna be the big payoff. Maybe you're not gonna sell something now, but later on, because you were honest to your clients and your members, they're gonna come back to you because they trust you. But there's a lot of coaches out there who look a certain way, and they'll say that my training has gotten me like that. Um, and I've been doing it for years, and you could look the same way if you do what I did. Okay. So if you want to do some homework, okay, remember, this is a lot of it is business. If you want to do some homework, try and find like a before picture of whoever you're looking at. Okay. Try and find a before picture of the coach, trainer, influencer, fucking, like you have these people on Instagram who say, um, you want to look like this, well, do my program, and people buy into that shit like really good. Like, it's an excellent model because you have like literally you have the end result in front of you, or the so-called end result in front of you, and people look at it and they say, I want to look like that, and then they fucking buy it, and whatever happens after that. And most of the cases, not a lot of the cases, but like, the percentage of failure, or the percentage of people who actually don't achieve that look, is a little bit too high, I think, when it comes to that kind of the business. Okay. So it's important to understand like the genetic potential of even the people who influence you. Okay. The ones who are giving you fitness advice, and especially when it comes to your appearance. So, genetic potential. The good news is, everybody has the potential to look amazing. Everybody can look fucking, like, if you want to be like sexy as hell, everybody can be sexy as hell. Okay. If you want to look good in a swimsuit, like, everybody can do that. Like, one thing is, you have to really, once you learn your genetic potential and your limits, you have to kind of like, okay, this is me, right? Like, I know I'm not gonna look like like fucking, I don't know. Like, I don't even think about other like body types, because like, I really like mine. Okay, I've really learned to love myself, and yeah, I love the way that I look, and I don't look like some guys, but that's all right. Like, I find that I look good, and I love myself. I love the way that I look, and this takes a little bit of like, you got to really sit down and tell yourself that I can look good, and you have to love yourself. And then, now that you understand your body type, and you fucking love yourself, and you appreciate everything that you have, okay, Now you can train that. Now you can take it to the next level, and you can look even better. And you know, so you're not even thinking about looking like somebody else. It's not about that. It's about understanding your genetics, and trying to make the best of what you have. Okay. um so just like that's like the reality of it, man. It's like you can't fucking like there's some like a there's like I see a lot of this in CrossFit. Like I don't want to bash CrossFit, but there's a lot of these athletes who are at the highest level that look fucking like, I don't know what the kind of genetics they have. I don't know, like I don't know if they're taking anything. Like I don't want to really say that, but like they're setting the standards very high. Okay. And it's important to like if you want people to follow you and trust you, it's important to be honest with them. Like maybe a lot of these people have to say like, yeah, they worked very hard, but like some people are not gonna look like that ever. Okay, because that's their body type. And what they've done, these people that you see who are highly successful, is that they've learned to master their own body type. And now that like they've came to that level, people are being like, holy fuck, they look really good. um, and like sure, it's good to have influence from role models, but you could just use it as a tool to help you push yourself to your highest potential. Holy fuck, it's some crazy shit. um, so yeah, it's love yourself, like for real, honestly. Everybody looks fucking good. Like I mean, everybody can look good. Okay, but first thing is you have to understand where you're at, and you have to be thankful for your own body. And then now, okay, am I is my body ectomorph, is my body mesomorph, is my body endomorph, or is my body like a different percentage of each one? Okay, now that I know that my body is 30% ectomorph, it's 40% mesomorph, and it's 30% endomorph. Fuck. um, I know what I have to train, and I know what I have to eat in order to look and feel a certain way. Okay, so that's what it's all about. Like you have to like it's constantly learning. You have to figure it all out. Fitness is not just like a fucking, it's not like a one fucking, there's not one way to do or one way to skin a cat. Okay, I don't even know what the fuck that, I don't know if there's different ways to skin a cat, but that's the saying, right? There's so many ways to do something, and you just got to find out your way to do it. And it takes time. Okay, it takes a lot of time. And don't buy into the bullshit. Okay, like if I can't tell somebody that my program, okay, like right now I'm trying to get a little bit more muscle, and I can't tell people that my program is gonna make them look like me, or doing CrossFit. Like I also do CrossFit too. I love CrossFit. It's awesome. um, I can't say that doing CrossFit twice a week for you is going to help you burn fat. I mean, it is going to help you burn fat, but you like if you're an endomorph, you might have to do a little bit more cardio because your body puts on body fat a little bit easier than other people. And it's not really something to be discouraged about. The way that you got to look at it is like that's me, and that's what I have to do. And you have to put in the work to do that. And the funny thing about losing weight and gaining weight is that there's people who put on weight and who are big, and it seems like they always want to get smaller. They always want to lose weight. Okay. And the funny thing is that people who don't gain weight easily, it seems like they always want to gain weight. So it's like a constant battle. Um, so I mean, basically, like I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to like shoot it out there that it's important to identify your genetic potential. You have the three different body types. You're ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Your body can be a different percentage of each one. Yeah, so you really have to kind of like look at yourself and like, do you put on fat easily? Do you gain muscle easily? Do you have a hard time putting on weight? And then understanding what your body type is, you then have to adjust your training and your diet according to what your body is allowing you to, or the way that your body's responding. Sorry. So the way that your body responds is gonna let you know that your training is either benefiting you, or maybe it's just not even worth it. So if anybody has any questions, like I'm always available to answer those questions. Like this is literally something I love to do. It interests me so much. It's my passion. So yeah, I mean, the takeaway here is love yourself. Okay, everybody can look great. You have to find out what works for you, and it's fitness is not like a 6 week thing. It's not even like a 2 month thing. Okay, you have to keep doing it for like the rest of your life, or for a long time. It's a long time. Okay, like think about it as if you're trying to save money. Okay, that like you're training. Every time you go to the gym, you're putting in a little bit of money to your bank account, and your goal for your bank account uh, is to raise $100,000 for yourself. You're trying to save $100,000. Okay. Every time you go to the gym, you get $10. Okay. So, how long is it going to take you to get to your goal? $100,000. Every time you go to the gym, you put a little bit into the bank. Okay, which is good. You're getting results. You're making progress. Okay, it's not a lot to see. Like it's not a substantial amount, but it's a little bit. So 100,000 divided by 10 is 10,000. Okay, I don't know how to fuck it. I have to use a calculator for that. My thing is lifting weights. It's not doing math, so that's all right. So 10,000 times. You gotta go to the gym 10,000 times. Okay, I mean this is just like an example of the dedication that you need, and you have to set your goals. This is just an example. You have to go to the gym 10,000 times, okay, to get to your goal. But once you get there, you're gonna be so fucking like it's gonna be your life now, and it's gonna be so much easier, okay. And the way that you have to look at it is like your goal is $100,000, okay. If you keep going, all of a sudden you're gonna have $10,000 in 1,000 sessions, okay. If you keep it up, okay, that's a lot of sessions though, okay. But all of a sudden you're gonna be like, hey, what the fuck, I have $10,000. Holy shit, it's actually paying off. And then you keep going, and all of a sudden, boom, you got $100,000. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Work hard, love yourself, identify your genetics, modify your fitness program and your diet based on the response of your body. All right. Thank you.